Let's go flying.
Hey guys, what's up? Cory Robin here. Welcome. We're doing something a little bit different now on the channel. We're going to start doing a little bit of regular news items, happenings, goings on. This is our first one, so bear with us. Hopefully the quality's good enough for you. Let's get right started. First, we're going to talk a little bit about why my airplane's grounded, what's going on there. We're going to talk about some new merchandise ideas that we're going to do and some items that we just have in stock. We have a STOL drag competition season coming up that's super exciting. Talking about Slow and Low and Oshkosh Air Venture, the trip there. Super excited about that. Then we're going to get into some aviation news, some things that I'm excited about, things that are going on in the industry, and we'll go from there. So, my Cub, it is grounded. What a bummer. You know, I haven't flown it since December 26th, so we're going on 2.5, almost 3 weeks, and I can't tell you, I start to get the shakes, man. I haven't flown. What's going on is it's the annual inspection. So I've got this list. This is printed double-sided, multiple pages from the Cubcrafters website of items I need to go through. Every year, experimental and certified aircraft both have an annual inspection process. My aircraft is an experimental home built. If I had built it, I would have the repairman certificate and I would be able to do the inspection myself, but I do not hold that certificate. So I'm doing it under the direction of an A&P mechanic. So I'm just going to go through the standard inspection. The aircraft is okay. There's a couple of squawks. One of the things that I am is hard on the suspension system of my airplane. I fly it into really rough areas, and so I'm going to put brand new shocks on it. And also a brand new T3 tail spring shock, which is really exciting. And one of the things that I want to talk to you about is that T3 shock. Airframes Alaska has a kit. If you're currently running the shock and you're on some of the older equipment on that shock, I've been holding on to this information for a couple of months now, and I'm just going to go with it because I have the shock in my hands, so that means they're making it, but they're going to soon to be offering, or they're currently offering, an upgrade kit for those T3 shocks to upgrade some of the parts. I'm going to show it in a video coming up where I go through the annual inspection process on my airplane. But I really want to let you know that if you're running that T3 shock, there's an upgrade kit available. Call Airframes Alaska. Check that out. It's an amazing, amazing upgrade. Definitely worth it because I've broken mine twice now and they've addressed those issues, and I know other people have broken some of the components on it as well. So that's basically all that's going on. It's just the annual inspection. I try to do it in the wintertime so that things are, you know, so it doesn't interfere with my fun schedule. I mean, that's really what my airplane's for, is the fun. Okay, on to merch. Before I talk a little bit about what we're doing, I want to engage with you in a little bit different manner on the Flying Cowboy store. If you have any ideas on designs or different merchandise, things that you want, either existing designs on, or if you've got ideas for new designs or sayings or cool things you want on shirts, comment below. If we have additional questions, we'll engage with you and get email addresses exchanged and things like that. But, you know, we really want to provide the things that you like. And one of the things that we know you like was the orange color of the Flying Cowboys hat. This we got in, I think we had about 100 of them in stock, and those sold out almost immediately when we first started offering those in the beginning of December. And so now those are back in stock. We have all the different colors of this design, and we have other designs available on the Flying Cowboys store. Everything is now back in stock. We apologize for running out, but that's just how it is when you're first starting out. You buy as you think you might sell, and we had no idea this awesome orange hat was going to be so popular. I actually stole 2 of them for myself because I actually really love it. It's my favorite color for sure, but depending on what you're wearing in your outfit, you may want to grab multiple colors, whatever the case may be. I want to thank everybody for supporting us so much on the merchandise. It's been crazy how busy we've been and shipping stuff out every day. So, loving it on the merch. On to STOL drag. I know I've mentioned it before, but I want to reiterate it again in case you missed it. STOL Drag is coming to the Reno air races. Go to airrace.org. Those tickets are now available for the event that's taking place on the 11th through the 15th of September this year. We're bringing STOL Drag to the Reno air races. Awesome. It's going to be super cool. One of the common questions we've had is, what does that mean for High Sierra Fly-In? Are you still going to do it at the High Sierra Fly-In? The answer is absolutely yes. The dates for High Sierra Fly-In are the 16th through the 20th of October. We're going to have so much fun at High Sierra because High Sierra is even going to be a little bit different, a little bit bigger this year, because we're taking the race at Reno and we're adding a points element to it. So there's going to be a winner at Reno. There's going to be a winner at High Sierra, and then there's going to be an overall grand champion of whoever gets the most points between the two events. Now, as we add additional venues, additional locations and dates, maybe the following year, or maybe even some might squeak in this year, we're still working on things. We might, I don't know how that'll all work out, but we're turning it into an individual air race for each venue. And then we're also going to have an overall grand champion of STOL Drag. We're trying to make the race as accessible as possible so that as many of you can race as you want. But the Reno this year is going to be the top contenders from the previous several years at High Sierra. It's going to be an invitation-only event, so it's going to be impactful. The racing is going to be fantastic. I'm excited about it. You better get excited. Go to airrace.org for the Reno air races and buy your tickets. And you can also go to stoldrag.com for the information related to the High Sierra Fly-In. Okay, let's talk and shift gears a little bit. Talk about EAA AirVenture Oshkosh. I think about the last 6-7 years, I have put on a little precursor event of my own where I've taken a small group of pilots. Usually it's the Flying Cowboys and myself. And we go to the process of flying to Oshkosh, and we really make the trip part of it a adventure and a heck of a lot of fun. We opened it up in 2017 for anybody who wanted to come along, and I was just freaking out. We had I think in the neighborhood of about 28 airplanes that joined us, and for 3 days we were hopping around. It made things a little unwieldy at fuel stops and things like that. So I think we've worked out some of the bugs to be able to make it more of a group fly, more of an inclusive event. And so we're going to announce all the details on the Facebook Slow and Low to Oshkosh page. But the dates, just so you can put it in your calendar, if you're a pilot and you want to participate, we're going to start from California on the 16th of July, leading up to Oshkosh. So this is the week before Oshkosh. And then we're going to start making our way eastbound towards Wisconsin the following days. Really the special thing that we're going to bring to the table on that trip is the evening events. We don't want a huge group of pilots fighting for fuel stops and things like that, so there's going to be a lot of logistical planning. So we're going to build a website. It's going to be launched very soon, and you'll be able to sign up if you want to participate. There's going to be a financial commitment involved to cover, hotels and things like that, or if you want to camp, we're going to have options for that. But we're going to make it a super fun adventure, something that we've done in the past and had a lot of success, and people have just been bugging me, hey, are you going to do it again? Are you going to open it up to the public? Because as you know, or may not know, last year, it was pretty much just the STOL Drag, or not the STOL Drag, the Oshkosh competitors that flew, and we flew together, and we didn't really open it up to the public. But we're going to allow you to fly with us this next year, at least part of the trip, and I'll announce the details separately. I don't want to get into the detail now. One of the cool things about that Slow and Low to Oshkosh is in Middleton, Wisconsin on the 19th of July, there's a huge event. Now, if you don't want to fly with us across the country or you're coming from the east, an option to meet up with us and maybe have a couple of days leading up to Oshkosh is the Rock the Ramp party at Charlie 29. That's the airport code. It's on the 19th. And it's at a place called Capital Flight. All the details are going to be on the Facebook page, and I'll announce them here as well. We'll put some details and descriptions and things like that as we move forward. But the Rock the Ramp event is going to be awesome. This is the 4th time we've done it. Super cool. Those guys at Capital Flight really roll out the red carpet. I mean, one year we had dueling pianos, the next year we had a rock band. We've had just about everything going on. We have some performers at Oshkosh come and attend. So it's really a super cool high-end event. It's awesome. The best part about it, it's all free. The bummer about it, it's hard to get a hotel. I'm going to work all that out for people to sign up on the website so that if you're flying in, you need a place to park your airplane. There's not any hangar space available, unfortunately. There never really has been. So plan on tying down your aircraft. Come and join the fun. We'll make sure that hotels are attainable for that event. Okay, on to some news. Somebody said my hands sounded like sandpaper in the Christmas special, so I'm going to work that. All right, here's some awesome aviation news that I think is super fun. I have founded a new YouTube channel. If you haven't heard, it's you know, I was talking to a buddy of mine who also does a YouTube channel here in Utah. He's huge. He has, you know, in the neighborhood of 2.5 million subscribers. And he's like, man, you have some really fantastic footage that I've seen, because we were sharing ideas and whatever. He goes, you should really do something with that. So I started a relaxation channel where it's going to show a lot more long length footage. If you're interested in checking it out, some of the scenery is absolutely spectacular. I've just posted, for example, a video of the Bahamas trip that I took, where we're flying over the blue waters and topaz waters of the Bahamas. Just absolutely spectacular footage. There's no vlogging, no talking. It's just relaxing music and the flying. It's pure flying. If you have a hard time sleeping, you may want to tune in. There's a live feed that usually is going on that channel. You can just set that and then set the sleep timer on your TV and fall asleep to it. It's fantastic. So if you're into that sort of thing, check it out. Just something to do with the extra footage I get. And it's really long videos. Really cool, fun stuff. All right, Legends of Aviation. John Travolta is the official ambassador of aviation now. He's going to host the 16th annual Living Legends of Aviation Awards. And this is something that's really exciting to me, because some of the people that are being inducted, for example, Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, has done so much for aviation, especially in his Blue Origin project. If you don't know about Blue Origin, you're on YouTube already. You know, after this video, search for Blue Origin. Another guy, Joe Kittinger, search for him on YouTube. The guy is an absolute amazing badass that just does the best stuff. I don't want to get into a lot of detail. Another guy, Kenny G. He's being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Congratulations. Those are the notable ones. Legendary actor Harrison Ford is also going to present his Harrison Ford Aviation Legacy Award to Richard DeVos. He's going to be honored for creating the West Michigan Aviation Academy. And this charter school has helped over 50 students earn their private pilot certificate. Bravo. I really think that anybody who brings new pilots into the fold or ignites the spirit of aviation in somebody, I think that's fantastic. Definitely worth mentioning. John Travolta is also going to be honoring Qantas Airlines for being the safest, longest continuous operating airline in the world award. And it's going to be presented to their chairman, Mr. Lee Clifford. Very cool. And finally, Paul Allen, the co-founder of Microsoft and renowned philanthropist, has had a serious interest in preserving and advancing America's aviation and space efforts. And so there's going to be a special tribute paid to him for flying west. So, you know, he did so much in his lifetime for aviation that he deserves the accolades. Okay, in 2019, AOPA, actually, I'm going to talk, before we go to AOPA, Draco's not for sale, people. There was a ridiculously weird thing that happened this last week where some idiot, and I'm not using strong enough words because this is a family-friendly channel, I get a call from Mike and he says, Cory, what's going on? Have you seen this paydyaircraft.com site? And I'm like, no. And so we start this big text back and forth, because I was actually busy working at the time. So we're talking about it, and we look at this website, and somebody's put together this site saying Draco's for sale at $650,000, and there's a sign-up form, and here, put your money down and get a ride and buy Draco. It's not for sale, people. If you're a bastard and you like to do stupid things on the internet, we will get you. So what I did, I have a software company, and we do some pretty awesome things in the airline security realm, and so I put a couple of security experts on it, and within a couple of hours, we had secured the domain name. We still don't know who you are, Mr. Bunghole. But we're going to get you. We're also going to get MikePatey.com. We're hot on your tail, and it's not going to be fun for you after we're done. Okay, so just to reiterate, Draco's not for sale. You can let a sigh of relief out. I know he sold Turbulence, but Draco, that plane is just too cool for school. Not going to let it go. Onward and upward. AOPA has revealed the locations for its fly-ins. Now, these are really, really cool fly-ins. I highly recommend the AOPA fly-ins. They've got such fantastic educational opportunities. They're adding some STOL and bush flying elements this year that are super exciting. I'd love to continue. I've talked to them a little bit about Flying Cowboys being involved in some of these fly-ins. The season kicks off May 10th and 11th at AOPA's headquarters in Frederick, Maryland. Then they move it over to Livermore, California on June 21st and 22nd. Then on to Tullahoma, Tennessee, September 13th and 14th. I'm available for Livermore and Tullahoma. AOPA, if you're watching, give me a call. Let's continue that conversation and let's get some people involved in backcountry flying at those fly-ins. And if you're in those areas, I honestly, I really, really highly recommend those AOPA fly-ins. Very awesome fly-ins. Okay, a lot of you have been asking about Nick. As many of you know, he had an accident on November 3rd, just after High Sierra fly-in. He was out flying with our buddy Trent, and he sustained some serious injuries when he had an incident or an accident, a crash in his aircraft. What my goal in bringing this up is bringing you to the awareness that he's doing well. He's recovering. He had all kinds of severe injuries. In fact, when Trent called us and gave us text messages, we were all just waiting with bated breath the day of, and Trent reached out to us even before they had recovered him from the aircraft. And it was very serious. We didn't know if he was going to make it or not. So we're super excited that he did. But one of the things that we want to do as a community is help him out. And if you're not aware, there's a GoFundMe account that Trent Palmer has set up to fund the rebuilding of his aircraft. And so just like they used to do in the old days where people would raise a barn, we want to do that for Nick and basically help him not only pay for his aircraft, but help him rebuild it. So far, we're over $90,000 in that GoFundMe, but let's keep that ball rolling and see how high we can go and how much help we can get him. You know, we really love Nick and everything that he has brought to the table as far as his excitement and joy for aviation. And we just want to keep that going for him so that he can continue to share that with others and also have an enjoyable aviation experience himself. And so once this video is done being live, in the description we'll add a link to that GoFundMe account. And I just want to ask you very heartfelt, in a very heartfelt way, as much as I can, please go there. If you've donated already, please share the campaign with your friends on social media. It's something that's just hits close to home to the Flying Cowboys because he's a really good guy, really good friend, and we love you, Nick. And we know you're out of the hospital. Things are going great. Keep the chin up. We'll keep the money coming, brother. Okay. I also want to talk a little bit about the support system that you guys have built around me. I sure appreciate it. And so I'm going to give a shout out to some people on Facebook that have been particularly supportive. So I'm going to read a shout out to Alan, Kevin, Jeff, Brian, John, Jared, another Brian, Scott, Cameron, Phil, David, Jake, and Bob. Those guys were the pioneers in the Facebook supporters. So in the description below, there will be a link where you can go and become a Facebook supporter yourself. Please consider becoming a supporter. We're going to give you exclusive access to some behind-the-scenes stuff, discounts in the store, exclusive items in the store, event pass discounts, special access to events, meetups, all kinds of things for being loyal, and a lot of other awesomeness. So we sure appreciate that. And also, shout out to the super chats. I'm told that, Jason's flagging me down. He says, look at the chat. Thank you so much for those super chats. Awesome. Tor BP just did a super chat. Jean Baptiste just did a super chat. Sure, appreciate you. If you don't do Facebook, you can sure support me through Patreon or right here on YouTube by clicking on the chat. There's a little $ on there, and you can do a super chat and support the channel that way. It's going to pave the way for some fantastic content, whether we're live and doing, what I want to do is kind of like a weekly news program where we talk about backcountry aviation, what's going on, maybe some new products, and some of the type of flying we're doing. I am also planning a trip right now to Reno. I'll be there next week. And so if you're in the Reno area, there will be some details forthcoming as to when I'll be there. I'd love to meet up and say hello. And I may be taking the aircraft for another week or so and flying into California and flying down south because I do have some meetings in Southern California I need to do as well. So that's all going to happen next week. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor and you're an aviation organization and you want to sponsor the channel, reach out to me. If you click on my channel page and go to the About section, you can get my email address and contact info. We'd love to have you support the channel. It's not inexpensive to travel across the country and make these videos. So any support, that whether you give it on Facebook or Patreon or right here in the YouTube world, I sure appreciate it. That's all. Thanks for watching. Please hit that subscribe button, smash the like. We'll see you on the next show. Ring the notifications bell. Apparently, if you don't ring the bell, you don't know what we're doing anyway. Thanks, guys. I better get to the hangar, work on that airplane.